This is the infamous Lipton seat, an iconic symbol in the history of Ceylon tea. A favoured location of Sir Lipton Thomas, a pioneer in branding Ceylon tea and creating an identity for Ceylon tea globally. This area is renowned for its virgin forest, the only one of the kind left in the island. The cool climate, mountain soil, rich flora, fauna, and the fertile winds contribute towards the distinct Uva character of this high-grown Ceylon tea. Situated amongst this pristine environment, 5,000 feet above sea level, is the Greenfield estate. For a passerby, this would appear to be yet another tea garden in the country. However, this tea garden differs in its values, vision, and priorities, its people and environment. This organic tea project was born from one man's vision of producing and offering an ethical tea in its purity and freshness.
My family's been in tea production for the last 3 generations, and it was natural for me to come in to join my family business. We've are a small farm, and we found it very difficult to compete in the conventional tea production system using chemicals. So my father in 1992 decided to try the organic way, natural way, producing all inputs within our estate system and producing a more cleaner, natural and environmentally friendly tea. This brought us into organic tea production, and we've been able to find a small niche market. With a lot of hard work, we've been able to produce, learn in the process, but feel the passion for producing this as we are doing the whole process ourselves. While working in the plantation, we realized that our resident population of workers were underpaid and demotivated. We worked hard to bring in the organic system, but we needed to get the cooperation of the workers. We needed their support and also their hearts and minds into this new system. Looking at most issues that they were going through, we realized the poverty level was the main thing, and without food at home and the happiness, they didn't have the heart to pitch in to our dream. Fair trade came in as a great gift. It was an amazing system that brought in extra income from our tea customers, which was able to address most issues to the poverty-stricken workers. The whole project is set up in a way that the estate can be sustainable and produce all its inputs within the estate, and also that not only to benefit the agriculture but also to benefit the people, so that there is a balance between people and nature.
Organic practices comes with its own challenges. Non-organic or conventional farming with the help of chemical produces high yield, and crops are protected from the effects of harmful pests and insects. So why does the farm avoid the use of modern chemicals and pursue organic methods?
Why it is so important to consider changing from monocropping and using inorganic management in Sri Lanka today is our history. All these hills were once covered with forest, and these forests had a deep organic soil which was at least 3 foot deep. These soils are, and let me show you, they were deep, organic, easily friable soils which came apart, which had nutrient, which had animals living in it, which sustained the tea or which sustained any plant in it for years. By putting artificial fertilizer, what we have done is reduce this to, I will show you this. rocks, sand, no organic matter, no life in it. It is to bring life back into these lands that we have now moved on to create analog forestry and forest gardens within our tea gardens, so that our tea gardens can regain the health, can regain the vitality that once existed in these mountains. We have looked at these chemicals and we find that many of the chemicals that are being used to control the pests are poison, obviously, for the pests, but they are living creatures. It's poison for us too. They kill the living creature because it's very small, but living creatures that are large like us, when we ingest that poison, it doesn't kill us, but slowly accumulates in our bodies to give us cancers, to give us emphysemas, to give us heart diseases, and all the health problems of modern development and the eating of industrial foods.
The Dutch government has supported Greenfield's vision of creating an ethical tea and sustainable system with the assistance of the Dutch NGO Both Ends and advisors Profound.
We've gone down the path of organic and fair trade, but we would like to produce a truly ethical tea, something that our consumers could drink, knowing that it's a truly ethical product. And one of the ways is in introducing the forest garden product model. We will explain through the analog forestry model, which we're trying to implement in our monocrop tea estates. This really touches the need for working with nature, also to winning the ecological balance within our system.
Why it is important to start changing these lands is because we want to build back sustainability into these lands. And how do we build back sustainability? We do it by bringing back the same structure and the same function that existed before. And to do that, we had to rely on a technology we call analog forestry. Analog forestry is creating a tree-dominated ecosystem that is analogous, that is similar to the natural forest in architectural structure and ecological function. These are the two important criteria, the structure and the function. But we don't bring back the same trees into the system. We bring back trees that are similar, but trees that give us a crop, that give us some utility value, be it putting nitrogen into the soil, be it attracting birds, be it producing food for the labor. It is using trees and plants that are useful for humanity, which at the same time provide all the services that the forest that was once lost used to provide to these lands.
The smallhold farmer begins by creating his own compost. The compost is created by piling up leaves and topping it up with cow dung and being applied to the fields. The cattle is also grown in the smaller holder farms and estates to create a sustainable system. The smallholder also grows the vegetables required for their consumption and generate their own biogas to substitute for electricity. The tea is collected from the smallholders and taken to the Greenfield factory for processing. The tea leaf first undergoes the process of withering. This step is the foundation of achieving quality in tea. Withering is used to remove excess water from the leaves and allows a very slight amount of oxidation. The leaves sometimes lose more than a quarter of their weight in water during withering. The withered tea leaves are then passed on to the rolling process. The damp tea leaves are rolled to be formed into wrinkled strips using a rolling machine which causes the tea to wrap around itself. This rolling action also causes some of the sap, essential oils and juices inside the leaves to ooze out, which further enhances the taste of the tea. The rolled leaves are then dried to preserve the tea for it to be used over time. Drying is the process during which the enzyme activities are stopped. The moisture content is brought down to 2 to 3%. Dried tea leaves are then sorted and separated according to the size of the particles. The sorted leaves are graded according to the industry standards. The tea is then tasted, packed in sacks, and sent to the packaging unit. At the packing unit, the tea is again tasted and tested for quality. The teas meeting the highest quality standards then are packed as required. Greenfield, legally defined as a company, is a community of estate workers and farmers. The community consists of 1,600 farmers and estate workers and 15,000 dependents who benefit from the Greenfield projects, rebuilding underdevelopment village communities, estates, and purchasing from smallhold farmer groups. Greenfield was certified Fair Trade in 1998. Fair Trade for the workers meant an allowance allocated to the Fair Trade joint body for projects in addition to the daily wages. The Fair Trade premium, which ranges between USD 50 cents to USD $1.10 depending on the grade of tea, is paid to the joint body directly by the customer. Projects carried out are mainly funding and grants for education, financial assistance for the workers' specific personal needs. The funds are used in projects aimed at the upliftment of the quality of life within the local community.
அது அறிமுகமானதுக்கு பிறகு எங்களுக்கு பெரிய நன்மை இது. ஏன்னா பிள்ளைகளுக்கு படிப்பு உதவி நிறைய நாங்கள் இந்த நல்லதுகளை தான் சந்திச்சிருக்கிறோம். அதனால இந்த ஃபேர் டேட் எப்பயும் இருக்கணும், கட்டாயமாக எங்களுக்கு இந்த உதவிகள் செய்யணும். அது எங்களுக்கு நிறைய எதிர்பார்ப்பு.
கிரீன்ஃபீல்ட் வந்த பிற்பாடு எனக்கு நிறைய உதவி செஞ்சுங்க. வீட்டில் அமல் எனக்கு வீட்டுக்கு கொஞ்சம் உதவி செஞ்சுருக்காங்க, லைட் எடுத்து கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. லைட்டு எனக்கு நிறைய நன்மைகள் கிடைச்சி.
තමයි මගේ අදහසක් තියෙන්නේ බලාපොරොත්තු තියෙන්නේත් ඒක තමයි. මේක මේ සාධාරණ වෙනදාම සාධාරණම මේ මිලක් අපිට ලැබෙන්න ඕන. ඒක තමයි මේ සමාගමට මං ආසාවෙන් ආදරෙන් මේ කට්ටිය ලැහැත්ති කරගෙන යන්නේ.
කාබනික වගාව පිළිබඳව කියන්නේ කාබනික වගාව දැන් අපි කරනවා කියන්නේ කිසිම අපේ වියදමක් කියන්නේ නැහැ. එතකොට දැන් අපි ගහෙන්ම ලැබෙන දේ ගහටම දීලා ඉස්සන්න දැන් ලැබෙන එක වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒකෙම එතකොට අපේ වියදමක් කියන්නේ නිසා සරුවට අපිට ලබා
It meets up with all of the modern needs for social, environmental, and global responsibility.
ආර්ථික වශයෙන් යම්කිසි ප්‍රගතියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ මම අර අමතර වැය කරන මුදල මට ඉතුරු. වැඩිපුර යන්නේ මගේ ශ්‍රමය. ඒකම මට ලැබෙනවා හොඳ සම්පත්. ඒ කියන්නේ කෘත්‍රිම නෙවෙයි ස්වාභාවික සම්පත්. මම දැන් අවුරුදු 5ක් 10ක් වගේ අතරතුර බැලුවා. දැන් එන්න අපේ පස්සේ හැම ගොඩාක් නිසරු විලා ගියා ඒ දවස්වල රසායනික පොහොර ගහලා. පස්සේ මම සත්ත්ව පාලනය කරන අතරතුර මාත්‍යා මම මේ යොමු වුණා කාබනික ගොවිතැනට. දැන් ඒකෙන් හොඳ අස්වැන්නකුත් අපිට ලැබෙනවා. වස විසක් නැති එළවලු අපිට ආහාරයට ගන්න ලැබෙනවා.
உண்மைக்குமே ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருந்துச்சு. ஏன்னா அப்பா இருந்து 18 வருஷத்துக்கு ஆயிடுச்சு. அப்போ என்னோட படிப்பை தொடர்றது ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக தான் இருந்துச்சு. இனி தொடருவோமா அப்படிங்கிறது ஒரு நிலையாக இருந்துச்சு. பிறகு அம்மா கொடுத்த ஊக்கத்தினால எப்படியுமே படித்து முன்னுக்கு வந்துடலாம் அப்படிங்கிறது இந்த டீச்சர்ஸ் கொடுத்த ஊக்கமும் அதுக்கு முக்கியமாக இருந்துச்சு. அதனால அதை முன்னிட்டு நான் வந்து படித்தேன். அப்போ இப்போ எங்களாலையும் படிக்க முடியும் அப்படிங்கிறத நான் யூனிவர்சிட்டிக்கு போன பிறகு உணர்ந்திருக்கேன். I want to become a political science lecturer at Southeastern University.
ஸ்டேட்டில் எஃப்எல்ஓன்னு ஒரு நிறுவனம் உருவான பிற்பாடு புத்தகங்கள் எங்கள் பிள்ளைகள் படிக்கிறதுக்கு இலவசமாக கொடுக்குறாங்க. அது இல்லாமல் பிள்ளைகள் உயர்கல்விக்கு கிராண்ட் முறையில் பணம் கொடுக்குறாங்க 25,000 இப்போ அதை வச்சு நாங்கள் பிள்ளைகளை எங்களுடைய ஒத்துழைப்பையும் வச்சு நிறைய பிள்ளைகளை முன்னேற்றத்துக்கு கொண்டு வந்தோம்.
In our small way, we are implementing the forest garden product, which really completes our tea, which is organic, fair trade, and also a forest garden product.